Hi, this is Synthchaser with Synthchaser.com. Today I'm going to be repairing this OB-Xa that is not saving to memory. So if I turn it on, the memory is all initialized to garbage, and the presets all just make noise. So here I have just a regular, the voice cards in this aren't in tune. But I have just a simple patch of 2 pulse waves on each oscillator. And I'm going to try to write it to the memory. So I'm going to go right, hold it down until it flashes, and then press the patch that I want to save it to. So now it's in A1 in the scratch memory. Let's see if I switch to A2 and then back to A1 and the patch is lost. So we're going to open this up and see what might be causing this. So opening this up, we see that it's a transitional model OB-Xa. So it's not the earliest model of OB-Xa, which had 32 program memory, but it's not the last revision OB-Xa, which had all its memory for 120 patches down on the control board. This uses a piggyback board, a memory expansion board, and it replaces 2 smaller RAM chips, 6514 RAM chips, with 1 larger RAM chip, 6116, which was used on the later revision OB-Xas. There's no schematics for this, but it's kind of a hybrid of the 1st edition and 3rd edition service manuals that are floating around the internet. Basically, we can infer how this RAM is being addressed by looking at those 2 service manuals together. But the 6116 RAM has 3 control lines. There's a chip select line, which is puts the chip into standby mode and retains the power, retains the memory with a lower amount of power. So the chip select line is the one that I've got the probe on now, and that's it has to go low for the chip to be enabled. So right now it's at about 3 volts because it's running off the battery backup. When I turn the keyboard on, it should jump up to 5 volts because it's going to be running off the 5 volt power supply. So I'm going to do that. So I've turned it on, and I have the volume turned down, but it's just making noise from the garbage patch. I can try to change programs, and I can try to write a program, and I can see that chip select line never goes low, so the RAM is never being accessed. So I'm going to take a look at the schematics and see if we can figure out why that's happening. So looking at the 3rd edition schematics, the chip select line is driven by the prog A star designated line. And then going back to the 1st edition schematics, the section that sets prog A is the same. So it goes through this 4011 NOR gate, this chip that's relocated up here. So we can probe this guy and see if he's doing what he should be doing to enable that chip select line. So our signal comes in here. We'll first take a look at pins 8 and 9, and then the output on pin 10. So here's pin 8. So there's a sawtooth kind of wave, and we're on 2 volts per division there. Here's pin 9, so it's the same input, which the schematic shows. And then here's the output. It's kind of a pulse wave. So as those, I guess at the tip of those sawtooth waves, it goes low. But actually, from looking at this, that tip of the sawtooth wave should not be high enough to get these low going pulses here. CMOS chip has a logic input level of about if you're running on a 5-volt supply, a 3.5 volt input signal is high and everything else is low. So this 2 volts should not be high enough to cause this low output here. It should be high all across the board. And then I mean, basically it just goes through this, let's see, down to pin 13. Sorry, I'm talking out loud here. Yeah. So let's replace this chip because it looks like it's not working correctly, and we'll see if that fixes the that little dip in the little low going pulse that we saw. So I've swapped out this 4011 CD4011 IC, and now let's take a look at those same pins and see what's going on. So again, our input on pin 8 is the 2 volt peak to peak sawtooth. Pin 9 is the same. Pin 10, the output is high all the time, no low going pulse. So that was. Let's plug back in here to the chip select line and try changing the patch and see if, yeah. So now I'm pressing to change the patch, and I'm seeing low going pulses as the memory is being accessed. So I'm going to close this up and I'm going to see if we can retain patches now. So let's turn it on, and there's no random garbage noise. I'm going to pick a random patch position B1, and there's nothing there, it's not doing anything. So I'm going to switch to manual mode, and here I have my 2 pulse oscillators. And remember, the voice cards are out of tune. Actually, I'm in the process of refurbishing this keyboard, calibrating the voice cards and rebuilding those. So I haven't calibrated the voice cards yet. I wanted to resolve this issue first. So I've got my program in the scratch memory. Let's see if it saves it to B1. So I'm going to hold down right, and I'm going to pick B1, and as before, it got saved to scratch memory. Let's go away from B1 and come back, and it's still there. We'll do another test and turn the keyboard off and turn it back on. We'll go to B1, and our patch is still there. So it looks like we've successfully resolved this problem with the OB-Xa not saving its patches in memory. If you have any questions on this or any other Oberheim or OB-Xa questions, feel free to post in the comments. If you have any Oberheims or other vintage synthesizers that you need repair or service done to, please visit me on the web at synthchaser.com. Thanks for watching.